you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Moore
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. I'm more worried about you. Seriously, I hope you're all right.
I'm hanging in there, my friend. I'll tell you about it later. Good, better results than expected.
Okay, good.
That's all I'll say.
Jimmy's playing hurt, everybody, and he has been for a while.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for doing that, Jimmy. It means a lot. You're a huge part of this show.
I need this to get through my day. This is my escape.
Well, maybe not today.
Pierre, lots of places to start here, but I want to go straight to Montreal, where you're obviously very focused on there, and a lot of our fans are as well. I heard Marty St. Louis' comments after the loss last night to St. Louis, 4-3 loss. He didn't seem as critical or upset about his team as maybe the media was or the fans were. And he said, look, I think we're doing a lot of things right out there. There are things we need to clean up. Yeah, but I feel like I like where we're at. What's your take on his take?
He's diffusing the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's making it easier for his players to play. It's a very hard market to play in. I respect how Marty's dealing with the media right now. There are some things they need to clean up. The second period in particular, they're the worst second period team in the National Hockey League. They really are. And last night was another example of that. But there's certain in-zone breakdowns that are happening that have been happening for a while. And either it's been covered up by really good goaltending like we saw in Vegas in particular, what we saw in Utah in particular, what we saw in Toronto on Saturday night, which led to wins, which were good. But they've got to fix some in-zone coverage. Now, part of that, too, to be fair, no Caden Gooley is a big problem. Yeah. And Carrier's not playing the way he did last year. He's having a tough time. So they've got issues on the right side. They got a depth issue on the left side. Arbor can't play on the right side. Struble tries, but he can't. Mm-hmm. So they're playing Lane Hudson over there. Dobson's still figuring his way out in his own zone. He is. He just is. It's just – I said this before. Nobody wanted to hear it. They got to work with him every day on his in-zone coverage. Every single – from the hash mark down to the icing line, from the icing line in the corner to the near side post. They got to work with him. He's not good enough for a big guy that way. Now, he does a lot of things really well.
Right.
He does.
Yeah.
But that's one of – if every player was perfect, we wouldn't need coaches.
No.
We wouldn't need coaches.
We wouldn't.
So I mean,
salary cap, but
yeah. Here's the one thing I want. I think it's important. This team is playing well. They're in a good spot. They've got a big week ahead. They've got to take care of business now. Tampa coming in tomorrow. They got a chance to ambush Tampa tomorrow after Tampa plays in Toronto tonight. And let's be totally frank. This roster's beat up. I know Jimmy's been playing hurt for about 3 weeks now. Yep. This roster's been playing hurt for almost a month and a bit now.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've gotten a lot. I'm going to say this: that coaching staff deserves a lot of praise, and Robbie Zettler in particular, who coaches their defense, he deserves a lot of credit. A lot of credit.
Yeah, and I think just quickly, and that's a good segue because I wanted to go to Toronto in that game tonight with Tampa. Pierre, the one thing I'd say, and I think you agree with me, I'd say no more than maybe 2 times where you came away from a Montreal game where you're like, there was no effort there. That was pathetic. Like this, there haven't really been many games where you said that. They're always in the game. They're always working hard. And I think you said, it's a work in progress. And I get where Marty's, I agree with you. He's trying to diffuse the situation, but I also think they're work in progress. This just like so many other teams around the league right now.
The one time that I was really mad at the team was after the Ottawa game where they came back from the road trip.
Yep.
They mailed that one in.
Yeah.
They did. Now, Ottawa played probably one of their best games of the year, and Brady Tkachuk was really good in that game.
Yep.
But the team wasn't good, and they basically said, okay, we don't have it tonight, so we're just not going to get – but you're spot on, Jimmy. How many times have you said this year, wow, this team just didn't care? I can't think of too many. That's one, but there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot.
So I think that's a good sign going forward. All right, with Toronto and Tampa tonight, news from Tampa this morning, Vasilevskiy goes on injured reserve there. Mm-hmm. You talk about Tampa being banged up there. Of course, they're getting guys back on Tampa too, but you talked about Toronto being banged up. We've seen Vasilevskiy this year, Pierre. he's kind of been a roller coaster. And I wonder if this has something to do with it, if he has been playing hurt, if he's been playing with something nagging, because I remember early on in the season where both you and I are like, something's off with him. He's not himself. And we know that this guy is still one of the top 5 goalies in the world. So I wonder now if they said, you know what, let's address this now. Let's not let it linger and haunt us later on in the year.
Yeah, well, they need him. Jonas Johansson's going to play tonight against Toronto. I don't know how that's going to go. But maybe you know more than I do, but starting early this morning, Kucherov not playing, Vasilevskiy not playing, Braden Point not playing, Chernak not playing, McDonough not playing.
Oh, yeah. So
if that's legit.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing that's good news, and I talked about this on Toronto podcast that I do twice a week. Sorelli, Nick Paul, Pontus Holmberg, Curtis Douglas, and Darren Radish are all either from Toronto, Holmberg's not, or have played in the Leafs organization.
Wow.
So that's a lot of guys. So you know what they're going to want. They're going to want to prove.
Yeah.
They're going to want to prove the Leafs made a mistake by not keeping them around or not drafting them or whatever. But, the biggest thing is I think Toronto's playing a lot better. Jimmy, you look at their last 4 games, they've got 7 of the last 8 points they could have won.
Yep.
They're 4 points out of the top spot. They're 4 points out of the top spot in the Atlantic.
Yeah. And that game on Saturday against Montreal, I mean, that was a good game both ways.
That could have gone either way. And Dobich played really well.
I thought Hildeby played great. Yeah, Hildeby was good. By the way, Pierre, actually Kucherov and Point are coming back tonight, according to Dave Mishkin.
That's good.
Yep. So
good for them. Bad for Toronto, but good for them.
What was I going to say though about Paul too? It's funny you say that because that's a guy that I don't have the stats in front of me, but my buddies from the Ice Guys show, every time he plays Toronto, they're like, bet this guy to score. And like 5 out of 6 times he'll do it. He always gets up for that game.
It's one of the most, I don't want to say heartbreaking because that's too strong, but I was in Ottawa when he was moved out. That was such an easy negotiation. It just, for whatever reason, went off the rails.
Yeah.
And never should have happened. Never, ever.
Break the bank.
Never should have happened.
Yeah.
Just trust me on that.
Yeah.
It just was one of those.
Yeah, I hear. But Toronto, you say they're playing well. What have you liked best about their game recently, Pierre?
More identity. Lawton coming back really helps. So they're slotted better through the middle with Matthews, Tavares, then Roy, and then finally Lawton. Lawton in the 4 holes, a pretty good number 4 center. McMahon, Roy, and Dakota Joshua now have a presence. They leave a footprint on the game, which is really good. Picking up Troy Stetcher on waivers was really good because he's a righty. And now you can move McCabe over to the left side. That's where McCabe's better. So now they got a matchup component. Stetcher's playing almost 25 minutes a game. He's never done that.
Yeah.
In his career. He's been in the league a long time. He's never done that. So it shows you how well he's playing.
Yep.
But I think the biggest thing is just Matthews is starting to take charge of games.
Yeah.
He's starting to demand the puck.
Yep.
So you put all those together, that's why they're playing better.
And that's why I think they're going to survive the injury front there with Wall being out there. Good point about Matthews up here too. He's the type of guy, I think, when he gets going there, it's like any captain. When he gets going, the rest of them are going to find their game as well. And he's going to elevate. He's like any leader out there. And that's why I think sometimes he's unfairly knocked as a bad leader. I think he can be a leader on that team.
He is a leader on that team. I don't know. I'm not in the room, so I don't know what his captaincy skills are. Mm-hmm. Everybody leads differently. But here's what I know. Like I was around one of the greatest winners of all time in '66. And a lot of people didn't think he was that great a captain. Let me tell you, he was a great captain. Yeah. And because when he talked, and he didn't talk a lot, but when he did, everybody listened. But what they really watched was how he dominates situations in practice. Mm-hmm. And how he could dominate games against other players on the other team that basically had a plan to pulverize them.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of leadership.
Did you think, Pierre, that 91, just going back in a time machine here, 91, when they played the North Stars, I know people look at it like the Penguins are going to win and everyone knew they were going to win. But there were times I remember in that series where the North Stars were really pressuring you guys. And Mario would just take over the game, and that was it.
Good for you, Jimmy. We lost game 1 in that series. And if you look at all the series, so in the first round, New Jersey, in the second round, Washington, in the third round, Boston, in the final, Minnesota, we lost every single game one.
Wow.
We lost every single game one.
Yeah.
Okay. And after game one of the Minnesota series, nobody really said much. We had a couple extra days, I think, between games 1 and 2. But what I remember is Bob asked me to make a tape. Bob Johnson asked me to make a tape of all, I think there were 83 face-off situations. 83 face-off situation. We came up with a face-off protocol. And in the meeting that we did, it was Ronnie Francis, Mario Lemieux, Brian Trottier, Randy Gillen, Yuri Herdina, Kenny Priestley. I think that was it. That was all our centermen.
Okay.
And we created a protocol. Mario was one of the guys. Ronnie was very important in that meeting. Brian was very important in that meeting. But it just showed you another example. Imagine we had Francis, Lemieux, and Trottier, our first 3 centers.
Oh, my God.
So all 3 of them were captains. Trottier with the Islanders, Francis with Hartford, and Mario with Pittsburgh.
Talk about building leadership in the room. Wow.
That's what I mean. So everybody's got different ways of leading. But Mario, there was one situation in Minnesota. I think it was in game.
I think this is what I'm thinking of.
I think it was game 4. We were down 5 men to 3, and he just took charge. Like, it was gross.
It's proving another myth that he wasn't a good PK.
Yeah, well, that trust me on that one. That's such malarkey.
I know. I hate that.
Yeah.
People pick an offensive player and they just automatically think, okay, they're not good in a penalty kill. I mean, look, like Austin Matthews is an example. Austin Matthews is a lot better in a PK than people.
Austin Matthews is a great defensive forward.
Yeah.
He's a really good. And I don't mean any disrespect to Ronnie Francis, one of my favorite players that I ever had a chance to work with. I called Austin Matthews, only 16-year-old Ronnie Francis with better speed and a better ability to score from a distance.
Wow.
That's what I mean. Look, he's got a long way to go to catch Ronnie. Ronnie's in the Hall of Fame. Ronnie was an amazing player. He's one of the top 20, 25 players of all time. But I think Austin can catch him if he keeps healthy, if he stays healthy.
Good stuff. Pierre, couple injuries this weekend. Hard to see our good friend Ryan Leonard there. And by the way, you can disagree with me. It's a borderline, but I think a clean hit from Trouba there. It's just
I agree. Finish up.
Part of it, but I think he comes in, he lines him up, and it's a hit, and it just didn't end well for Leonard, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. And I hate to see Leonard get hurt, and we've made it abundantly clear how much we like that kid, and we cheer for him. But that is a clean hit, and I'm seeing people out of Washington, media fans accusing Trouba, saying, "Oh, well, this guy's going to be out of the league. He's so dirty." And I'm saying, whoa, pump the brakes here. There's a certain player on your team that walks the line and sometimes crosses it.
Not about Tommy?
Yeah, let's settle down here a bit.
Yeah.
And I got no problem with the way Tom Wilson plays. I love him. I want him on Hockey Canada. I want him on my team if I was coaching.
Yeah.
But let's pump the brakes calling for Trouba to be out of the league.
Okay, enough's enough. For those that don't understand, and Ryan Leonard just learned a valuable lesson. He'll never do that again.
Nope.
When you're in that situation on the ice, first of all, you need to know who you're on the ice against. That's number 1. Number 2, don't admire your pass. Don't be making a blind backhand pass and go, wow, that was so cool what I just did.
Exactly.
Because that's what happens. It's not so cool. Guys learn quick. I mean, Scott Stevens, if that had been Scott Stevens instead of Jacob Trouba, no disrespect meant to Trouba, that I don't think Ryan Leonard would be playing for the rest of the year.
No, he might have been in the third row.
Yeah, so I was in that very rink when Scott Stevens got Paul Kariya. I was working the series. You go look if you don't believe me, if you're a younger person, you don't believe me, go watch the tape of Paul Kariya in the Stanley Cup final in 2003 against Scotty Stevens.
It was a clean hit in those
totally clean. So you may not like the result of Trouba's hit, but it's not a suspensionable play. I didn't think it was a penalty, and Ryan Leonard's going to learn a valuable lesson.
Yeah, and it's too bad because he was really starting to pick up here. His offense was starting to crank at that point, and then boom, he finds himself on IR. So
how's that Leo Carlson guy doing?
Oh my gosh.
How's that Cutter Gauthier guy doing?
Well, great segue to the other side of that game. And that's one of these things, we were doing last month with Point S. We had our tune up Well, like one thing I love about Anaheim is how after that embarrassing loss, was it when they lost 7-1? I forget last week.
Oh yeah, no. Who did they lose to? Someone.
San Jose? No, it wasn't San Jose.
Was it Vegas? Was it Vegas?
It was definitely a Western Conference team. One sec. But anyways, my point is, since then, they've been the ones racking up the goals, and they answered the bell. Like, Quinville probably came into that. They lost 7-0 actually on last Wednesday to the Mammoth.
Mammoth. Okay. Hey, that's the one you said Utah's going to show. You called that one.
Thank you,
Jimmy. You know what's amazing on that? Chicago got whacked by LA, and then they got whacked by Anaheim.
Yeah, I didn't expect that from Chicago.
So no, but this is another learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
All these young kids, and they got a lot of them, especially in defense.
Yep.
They're now understanding. We're almost at game 30. And now this is when the rubber meets the road. And people don't understand that concept.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't understand it. And this is when it hurts the most to be a player. The speed of the game, once you get to U.S. Thanksgiving, it goes up another level. And a lot of these kids aren't used to that right now. The one thing that Anaheim has that some of these other teams that have so many young kids don't have, they got Chris Kreider. They got veteran guys. They got a lot of veteran guys, but they got Kreider. They had Alex Killorn, Stanley Cup champion, Troy Terry. You start looking at some of the older guys they have, and those guys help the young guys get through.
Yeah, and then they have
they have
behind the bench,
and they got the best free agent signing of all last summer, player or coach.
Agreed.
They did.
Agreed. 100%. But great point by you on Chicago right now, and I think that's somebody is a common fan. I think a lot of the younger fans are drawing to San Jose and Chicago because these are young up-and-coming players and everything. But now, as you said, they're at the point where now it's the second time around with a lot of teams. Teams. I'm not going to say they figured them out, but they're prepared for them. And I'm not saying they slept on them before, but I think it's just a natural tendency when you look at teams that are in the bottom of the standings from last year and you come into this season, the first time you play them, you're not expecting maybe what you're going to get from the Florida Panthers if they're healthy. And I think now teams are really starting to take the Sharks and the Blackhawks seriously.
Except for Carolina.
And that's why it's a great win for San Jose to go in there and do that.
And when that win, all those guys that won the Cup in 2006, they're back in Carolina. They're having a reunion.
I know. I saw Aaron Ward.
And really impressive. Like, I talked to Chuck Caton today because he was a play-by-play guy when they did it. Talked to Trip Tracy this morning via text.
We're going to get Trip on again soon.
Yeah, we can get Trip on. But I talked to him this morning, and they're having a heck of a time. Like Mark, our buddy Mark Recky's there. A lot of the guys are back.
Yeah.
It's really good. But they slept last night. They disrespected. They did, and their coach knew it. For 40 minutes, they disrespected San Jose.
Yep.
And they got kicked right in the petunia because of it. They did.
And that's coming on the heels of that loss to Toronto, too. So Brindamore, was fuming.
Yeah, Macklin Celebrene's the real deal. Like, I don't care. I watch their games. Most fans don't. I watch their games for more than just Macklin. He's the real deal.
And credit to Colin Graff, too. He's been chipping in a lot.
What a play by Celebrini to Graff. It was great. Graff going harder than that. He looked really good on that one. They got him killing penalties, Colin Graff, which is very interesting. Good for him. That's great. Kid that played for our buddy Rand Pecknold at Quinnipiac and doing really well. Started at Union College.
That's right.
Started at Union, then used the transfer portal to go to Quinnipiac.
And Pierre, by the way, for our listeners and viewers out there, we apologize about no Sean Avery today. I forgot to say that at the top. He had an acting audition this afternoon, and it was right at the same time he was supposed to come on with us. He said, forgive me. I said, you don't have to forget. Go get it. Go get the part, Sean. So he will be on with us tomorrow at the same time at 4:15. Looking forward to
Unless
that.
he gets the part, then he might not. He'll forget.
Well, then he might have to fly to Hollywood.
He'll blow us right off. I got the part.
He was great, Pierre, and you saw the email. He was very nice. Good for him. And I have a couple friends who are actors. I know what that's like for them. Pierre, before we get into our sponsors and the Q&A, again, the Quinn Hughes trade talks are gaining a lot of momentum right now. Elliot Friedman was on Sportsnet saying that the Devils had spoken to the Canucks about him when they made it known that they are willing to deal other players other than Hughes. And my thing to that, and this is with all due respect to Elliot and anyone else who reported that, is like, well, of course they're talking to him. Like, can you just, as someone who's worked in management, can you explain to the fans out there that GMs, assistant GMs, scouts are always asking each other about every player? Whether it's just a question and a quick answer, so be it. But names are always being brought up. Just because Quinn Hughes was brought up doesn't mean that anything is, percolating in that respect. It might be. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just saying we shouldn't always take it that way when they say they talked.
Well said. I don't have to say much more.
Okay.
I just want to say this because it's been bugging me for the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say any names.
Okay.
I don't think it's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
When you make a big trade, the media guys aren't the first guys getting it. The first guys getting it are the guys that do the trade call.
Mm-hmm.
Because big trades like this, there can be no bad I dotting or bad T crossing.
No.
Everything now, especially after what happened with Ottawa and Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Just telling you on the couple of trades, or one trade in particular, the trade call is very important, and nothing's getting leaked out. Now, if I were Jersey, and I mean, look, I'm friends with those guys.
Yep.
My late friend hired all those people that are there. My late friend Ray Sherrill hired everybody that's there. This is important. I'd be concerned if I were those people in New Jersey when Quinn Hughes gave a press conference and he alluded to the GM as Fitzy. That does not have a good vibe to it.
Good catch.
And I was watching that and I'm going, oh, that's a bogey. And here, look, it's natural. We all make mistakes with microphones in front of us. Everybody.
Exactly.
And it happens to everybody. But here's why it shouldn't have happened. The reason why it happened is because his father and Fitzy were teammates at Providence College. And Tommy drafted both his brothers. There's relationships there that go beyond hockey.
Of course.
It's family, it's friends, it's teammates, it's a lot of things. But that's where your agent has to say, when you address the media, it's either Mr. Fitzgerald or Tom Fitzgerald. It's not nicknames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. That's a great catch by you. I didn't even think about that.
I don't like it. Right away, I'm like, ooh, if I were New Jersey, I'd be concerned that somebody in Vancouver may say, hey, you've been talking to this guy. Are you tampering with this guy?
That's exactly where my mind was going when you brought it up. That could lead to some really uncomfortable situations for both managements.
Now, the way they get out of it is, hey, it's two brothers play there.
Yeah, exactly.
But
still,
my father, my father was teammates with the GM. Like, I've met him before I was even in the NHL. But didn't ring right.
Yeah. But here's the thing I'm going to say now, Pierre. No matter what they say, no matter what Quinn says, what have you, there's already this poor team with what they went through last year, and now this thing is just going to be a cloud that follows them until or if and when it happens.
It's a fair point. It's really gone on there, and I love that city. Best Winter Olympics I've ever been honored enough to be a part of. In Vancouver in 2010, it was off the charts. The fans are mad.
Oh yeah,
the fans are really angry. Like, this is the most angry I was there. Doc Emmerich and I got in a car in 2011.
Oh yeah,
right to the airport. And I'm telling you, Molotov cocktails were coming off the bridge.
Yep,
hitting the side of our car. Nothing. We never got hurt, but we saw the Molotov cocktails going off.
Yeah.
Trust me. And they were mad then. They were mad. There's no question they were mad. They were mad in '94 when they lost Game 7 in New York.
Yep.
This is real anger.
They feel betrayed, I think, Pierre.
That's do. What
comes to mind.
They feel betrayed. You are correct, sir.
Yep. So I just feel like it's going to get uglier. Before we move on from Vancouver, though, I want to give some of the guys in that roster, and it's too long a list because I was that impressed with them the other night when they beat Minnesota, Pierre.
Yep.
Look, everyone's saying, look, you're at the bottom of the league, and we just spoke about all the controversy around them, and nobody's giving them a chance right now and writing them off. There's still a lot of guys and this is a credit to the coaching staff, that are working their tail off in that locker room despite all this. And they probably know, hey, the future's not bright here, but they're working hard. And my question to you is, Pierre, as we get closer to the deadline and you're a scout and you're looking at a team at Vancouver, obviously you're looking at the big names we hear, but do you also look for guys like that respond to this type of situation the way a lot of them are?
Yeah, I love how you phrase that, Jimmy. I think it's really cool. Well, there's a couple guys in that team I know very well. I'm not going to say their names. I don't want to get them in trouble, but I would take those guys in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
They're winning players. They're really good men. They're hardworking. They're not bad humans. They're really good teammates. There are a couple guys there that would really help teams. If you're a team that thinks legitimately that you can win the cup, there are a couple guys on that team that you want to get on your team because they could really help put you to another level. They really could.
Yeah, and I just think it's impressive that they're not letting all the stuff going on around them get to them.
Yeah, there's one player in particular. Again, I'm not going to say his name. That's done exactly what you're saying, and it really, if you watch them enough, it really stands out.
Yeah. I'm going to not say his name, but there's one guy I'd love on my team in the playoffs, and he used to play for the Buffalo Sabres. That's all I'll say. He's on that roster. He's a defenseman. How about that? You're a big fan. All right, let's get to our wonderful sponsor there. And I don't know if that guy's ever eaten there, but we have Vago Italian. It is amazing. They combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years, private dining rooms for any occasion. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. And Pierre, we're going to start to need looking ahead to that because
by the way,
schedule.
Can't wait for Olympics. But how about PK Subban and Andrei Markov after his celebration last Wednesday? They were over at Vago after the game.
Didn't I sent the picture to you and I said that looks like Vago, and you said
it was Vago. They were there.
Yeah,
PK was there with Andrei. By the way, hey, congratulations to our producer Shane and his mother Sheila. Sheila's gonna retire.
Yep.
I think tomorrow, or is it tomorrow or Thursday?
No, Friday, I believe.
Is it Friday?
Thursday, and they're going to celebrate.
Okay,
Friday.
So Friday's her last day. Thursday, they're going to celebrate, and they're going to Vago. And we're really excited for Sheila. Congratulations, Sheila. We're thrilled to death for you. Job well done. And you raised an amazing young man. Shane's off the charts.
I was going to say the hard work continued with Shane for sure. All right, as we said, go there, check them out, and we will have plans to make for the Winter Olympics. Once we know them, we will release them here. And we hope if you're in the Montreal area in February, you come visit us there at Vago or go there anyways. All right. And of course, our wonderful sponsors over at Betway. You can still go all the way and bet the beauties with Betway. Join the action right now. If you are not a member, go to that QR code in front of you, and then you can fill out your details. And if you're not watching, you can always go to the website and go to the members section and fill out the details there. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And remember, this offer, which I'm about to tell you, is not available in Ontario. And this offer is amazing. It's too bad for people in Ontario it's not available, because you can go there right now and make a bet and lose and still get up to $300 credit with your first bet. Again, that's up to $300 credit on your first deposit. So go over there right now, sign up for Betway. And here's my picks for tonight. I'm going to go right to that Toronto game, hosting Tampa Bay Lightning there. As I said, no Vasilevskiy there. The Leafs obviously have some backups and guys are not used to in net, though. As we said, Hildeby played great the other night, but still, the last 6 out of 7 times these teams have played, they have gone over 6.5. So that is my bet tonight, over 6.5 in the Leafs Lightning. And then the other one I like to, if you go over right now to Betway and you'll see it there, I'm going to look at the LA Kings who are in Utah right now. Utah with a devastating, we forgot to bring that injury up here, a devastating loss. Logan Cooley out indefinitely after colliding into the post in Vancouver. That looked like such a rough break. He kept playing a little, Pierre, but it wasn't good. So he's out indefinitely. That's a tough loss for the Mammoth there. They've been kind of up and down lately. I like the LA Kings on the road to beat Utah, and Utah there. Give me the Kings on the money line at -108. And those are my Betway picks in the night.
Hey, don't forget our friends at Cara Travel. We're getting close to another trip to Ireland, and Sarah Stanton and the whole team. Wow, I can't believe how the turnaround on this one is
I
quick.
was thinking that today, Pierre. Earlier I was like, man, if she doesn't even get a chance to enjoy the holidays, because it's just like she got home and it was like right to work
Oh,
preparing.
yeah, no, I'm going to tell you right now. She had to make an adjustment on a plane ticket that I had through her to go over there because there was a misunderstanding on the name.
Mhm.
And like she got off the plane and she got it done like right away. Like you didn't have to do that.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. I'm telling you. She's and Cara Travel. Like, if you're going overseas, especially going to Ireland in particular, and you're not using them, you're making a big mistake.
And their staff is amazing too, because they're going to be there. Like Pierre just said, they're always there on call for you. They're like doctors, and they're the nicest people in the world too, Pierre. I mean, like you can tell that like a GM does when you're trying to pick the right culture or right dressing room. She did that with her staff there, and they're great.
She also knows how to pick hotels. We've never had a bad one. Better make sure we got a good one when we get there on the 29th, Jimmy.
Now she's going to say, yeah, you're in the roadway in.
Not now. 29th is the next time Jimmy and I'll be there on the Green
By the
Isle.
Red Eye. Yep, on the 28th. Looking forward to it. All right, let's get to our questions. What do we got? Juice, Pierre, your thoughts on the first 27 players that got named to Canada's World Junior team?
It's the only 27 players. Yeah, no, they're good. Canada's a good team. My biggest concern is they're leaving a lot of artillery at home. I mean, Macklin could still be on that team, but they're good. The fact that and Ben Kindle's not there either. Pittsburgh's not letting him go. But Harrison Brunick is going, which is really good. I thought that was smart, and he's not just in the NHL where he's played, I think 9 or 10 games, but he's played in the American League the last little while. He's been there. I've been watching. He's been their best player.
Yeah.
And I mean that. And they got some really good veterans down there in Wilkes-Barre. He looks good. So he'll go and help them. Porter Martone. I watched a little bit of Michigan and Michigan State, by the way. Role reversal. They split this weekend, which is kind of neat.
Yep.
But Martone will help them. Obviously, Gavin McKenna's going to help them a lot. I mean, it's a good team.
Yeah.
It's a good team. I'm a little surprised that Charbonneau from Blainville-Boisbriand didn't get named on that roster.
Oh, yeah. He's
St. Louis's first-round pick.
Yeah. Yep.
So I was a little surprised he wasn't on there, but it's a good list.
Yeah.
The two hunters give me a lot of confidence. Obviously Dale coaching and Mark picking the players. My only concern is this is the first time that I can remember where there wasn't a camp.
Yeah.
And just don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see if maybe it works. It should. I mean, they got enough good players, but
yeah. Should be interesting there. All right, next question. Brodeur HOF. Is Jack Hughes really the straw that stirs the devil's drink? They're almost a completely different team without him. Yeah, he's a big part of it.
Take any first overall. So let's just do this game.
Yeah.
Take Nathan McKinnon off of Colorado. How would they be? Let's take Connor McDavid off of Edmonton. How would they be?
Not as good.
Let's take Sidney Crosby off of Pittsburgh. How would they be?
Not as good.
Let's take, even this year, let's take Connor Bedard off of their team in Chicago. How would they be? Let's take Macklin Celebrini off of San Jose. How would they be?
In the lottery again.
So my point is that those first overalls, they're truly great players, and they really matter.
That being said, I do think the guys that are playing, and I understand he's a big loss, but some of them got to step it up in my eyes for the jersey right now. I'm not going to name names, but I just feel like there's some veterans in that team that I think were brought to that roster, Pierre, for situations like this, and they're not delivering.
I think we talked about it last week, and I agree with what you just said, but I think we talked about it last week, Jimmy. He influences more than one line. He affects, because it forces other players to play out of character, out of what their role actually is.
Right.
And so rather than be a number 2, Nico Hischier's now a number 1. Rather than be a winger on either the second or third line, now Dawson Mercer has to play elevated offensive minutes. I mean, it just affects. And it affects everybody because this guy's just so darn good.
Yeah.
Jesper Bratt. When's the last time you even talked about Jesper Bratt?
I know.
But when he plays with Jack Hughes, he's pretty darn good.
Yep. So we shall see. I think, whether they get Quinn Hughes or not, I think Tom Fitzgerald's going to be busy and try and pull something off because they have
You
to.
think they're getting him?
I don't know who's getting them. I don't think it's a lead pipe cinch like everyone's making it out to be. I'll tell you that. I think there's a team in the state that he grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Detroit's got, I can say this with pure confidence. Detroit has way more firepower than what New Jersey has.
Exactly. To pull this one off.
To pull this trade off, they got way more firepower.
I heard somebody say today, I don't think it would happen, but I mean, Columbus has got a ton of space, a ton of prospects. That could be something interesting there. I don't think
the player has to want to go.
The player has to want to go, and I do not think it's a complete lock that he's going to Jersey. I'll just say that. I agree.
No, the one thing that gives me, if I were Columbus, there's a couple things. One, Kent Johnson's there, and two, Werenski's there. Werenski would be the sales pitch guy.
Oh yeah, and
then they drafted Fantilli, another Michigan guy, and so there's some. I kind of see how that would work, but Detroit's got so much artillery. They have just so much artillery. Well, I don't know how many people that are watching us right now watch Grand Rapids play in the American League. I do.
Yeah, and you tell me all the time they're stacked.
They're loaded, man. They're just loaded.
All right, what do we got for the next question? Anthony Montreal 2913. As a former coach, does it frustrate you, Pierre, that MSL runs a man-on-man D, which leads to a lot of defensive breakdowns?
I don't agree with their defensive zone coverage at all, Anthony. I totally agree with your statement. Yeah. It's something that they can play, different kinds of semi-man-to-man, but they're just playing it all over the ice, and it's leading to some problems. There's no question. It's leading to some problems.
Okay, next question. Franco, is it just a recency bias, or is it slightly concerning with the number of goalie injuries I'm noticing this season?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to, before I give a responsible answer, I'd have to see the numbers from the other years.
I would say I feel like overall, though, there's been a bigger.
I think there are more injuries with forwards and defensemen.
Yep, and I think
in every league this year.
Yeah,
like I'm tracking a lot. I'm pretty involved, and there seems to be more injuries at every level than what I've seen in years past.
Yeah, and that, I don't know, at the NHL level, it's just, look at how much hockey they're playing in a short period of time. All right, next question. Seamoke, Jimmy and Pierre, who do you think has been the best goalie in the league so far? Also, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas to you and your families. Seamoke, the same to you. Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. I would have said Dustal. He's hurt right now.
Jesper Wallstedt
is definitely in there. I'm going to give a little props to Jeremy Swayman. Good bounce back year.
I agree.
I think Sorokin's been better for the Islanders.
He's been really good. Darcy Kempfer in LA has been really good.
Kemper's been great.
And if you watch Columbus, Washington last night, Logan Thompson had 39 saves.
Nobody talks about Logan Thompson too. He's great.
Well, we have, but
we do. I know, but he needs more.
Yeah, he's really good, and I got to think he's going to be on Team Canada.
I would agree. I could even see him as a starter. I'll go that far.
It'd be a battle for the starting job, but
Jordan's
Binnington battled last night, man.
Yep, he was back to being Binnington last night.
Battled last night. That's more what they need from him. So.
Yep. All right, next question. Ethan Russell. Hey, Ethan. Ethan, I hope you loved our question about Zellers, by the way. All right. Did you expect to see Seneca having this type of season?
Seneca.
Pierre?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't think he'd be this good, Pierre. You knew him better than me, but he's been amazing.
Well, when I knew it was going to work out for him is when Joel started talking about he's a lot better than I thought. It's like, I remember you were part of the conversation when we were talking to Joel, and I said, this guy Carlson, you might not know enough about him yet, but this guy's kind of like, he's like Jonathan Toews with a lot of offense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, Pierre, Jonathan Toews. I mean, and now it's like, wow, this guy's really good. Oh, yeah. I think the same thing.
Right, I remember I did a story with him later on in the season, and when we started off the conversation, he's like, man, Pierre was right about that Carlson kid, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Big guy dash 5 F5Y. Habs fan in Southwest Ontario. I was at the game on Saturday in Toronto. It seemed almost 40 to 50% of the crowd were Habs fans. How is that possible? Habs fans travel, man.
Not only that, I think people, because it's so expensive to go, people are putting their tickets out for sale.
Mm.
You know, I'm not going to say too much, except I know people in New York that own pretty big swaths of season tickets, and they just can't afford to go to every game, so they sell them.
Yeah.
And they pray like heck that the Rangers make the playoffs, because if they do, they sell those and it covers their season tickets for the year if the Rangers go on a run.
How expensive it is.
So it's just too expensive. But yeah, no, where was I? I was watching Montreal the other day somewhere. I was like shocked at how many Canadiens fans were at the game. I thought it was,
West Coast trip?
yeah, it was during the trip, but it wasn't in Vegas either, where I kind of expect people will go just because of the Cirque du Soleil and all that stuff.
Maybe Utah. Was it
It
Utah?
might have been in Utah, actually. I think it might, because
surprising place.
you know what? It might have been in Utah. Might have been in Utah.
Yeah. Like I see it in Cali, I could see it in Vegas, but Utah would surprise me for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Randy Workman, what will the Stars do with their LTIR money?
End it.
Yeah.
They're going to be active. They got a good team, and they know, like, you got to try to finish in the one spot in that division.
Yep.
That division's no fun. That Central's just a death trap.
It really
You got to be where Colorado is if you can get there. It's kind of like what the Atlantic used to be. Don't finish in the 2-3 hole. You got to finish in the 1 hole, unless you're Boston and you'd spit the bid against Florida.
Yeah.
Or unless you're Toronto and you spit the bid against Florida.
Yeah. All right. Next question. John Flagel. If we show up to Vago, can we ask you questions live when it's a question period? Sure.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why we're
That's
doing
why
it.
we want you there. Yeah.
Exactly, John. And that's a big reason why we are doing it. That's one of the things we want to do. So the answer is yes. And that's why we're doing it at lunchtime.
Yeah.
So people can pop in. And
by the way, too, Pierre, I was looking at the schedules, and what's good is actually that as we go on, the first wave of games in the morning Eastern time will just be ending. And then right as we're coming off, it goes into the second wave. So we'll basically be the intermission show there, which will be great.
No, it'll be really good. It's going to be outstanding.
All right. Next question. Anthony Montreal. Does Habs management stand still and wait for guys to get healthy, or do you sacrifice some of the future to get help now?
I wouldn't be in a rush right now.
Not yet.
But I think that they're definitely looking to add. They've been looking, I think, most of the summer to add.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with the management team or the scouting group. They've got players, like a lot of players coming. Montreal's really set up for a 5 to 8 year window. They really are. That's a big window in this league today.
Yeah.
They're set up for a long run. This Jacob Fowler is something else.
Oh my gosh. All right, next question. Anthony again. From a health and rest standpoint, would it be beneficial for the Habs end of season push to have guys like Hudson and Caulfield not be selected to USA Hockey for the Olympics?
No, I want them playing.
I want them playing too.
I want them playing, and that's huge. It's really, if you go look at the roster from 2010, actually look at the 02 roster and then look at the 2010 roster. Don't look at the 06. It was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the development of a lot of those players. It matters. It's really special experience. You know, I had a chance to do 02, 06, 10, 14, and 18 on the winter side.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to do 12 and 16 on the summer side. And I was invited to go to 20, but we couldn't go because of COVID in Tokyo. So I just tell you that experience is amazingly important for all players in every sport. That's a real different level. It's a totally different level.
All right. Next question. Jace Palmer. Is Suzuki really having a Selke caliber season? I feel as though he was better defensively in previous seasons, or am I just crazy?
You know what, Jace? I'm going to tell you something. I'm on your team. I think the media is pushing this candidacy stuff on him with the Selke, and I'm not sure that's going to work out this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good defensive player.
Yep.
But
There's
I'm not,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Great observation.
It's a very good observation. And I'm just going to qualify my answer by saying I think Nick Suzuki is going to be on Team Canada. But do I think he's having a sulky kind of year? No.
All right. Next question. Juice, thoughts on the San Jose Sharks loaning Michael Misa to the World Junior team?
He's hurt right now with conditioning. They were kind of loaning him down to the American Hockey League team, the Barracudas. He never, personally, I don't think he should be there right now anyway. So I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
All right. Next question. Juice, Pierre, during your coaching in the NHL, who's the best face-off player you ever coached?
Mark Jansen's was really good. Darren Turcotte was really good.
Darren Turcotte.
On Hartford. Ronnie Francis was off the charts good. Randy Gillen might be the most underappreciated face-off guy ever. Against Boston, Jimmy, you'd have to look it up in 91. I think it was game 3. I think Gilly won 13 or 14 face-offs in a row. Like, unbelievable performance. So he would be one of the most underappreciated, but I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of really good centermen over the course of my career.
Well, taking too long. We'll get back to it. Yeah. All right, next question. Simo, Pierre, where do you see Kadri ending up?
I'd love to see him end up in Montreal.
Me too.
I don't know if that's where he ends up, but that'd be a good fit.
All right, next question. Simo, Pierre, what do you think of Renzel being sent down today?
Too much. It's what we just talked about. Jimmy and I just talked about Chicago's young D.
Yep.
You know, there's nothing wrong with going down there. Like, it's the reality of the business. And this guy should be a junior, I think a junior in Minnesota. It's like, this is not wearing a scarlet letter being sent to the American Hockey League.
No.
Most people can never even walk into a dressing room in the American League. They're not good enough players. It's a hard league.
Yep.
It's the second best league in the world. People, I don't care if the KHL's mad at me. I don't care if the SHL's mad at me. Put one of your teams in an 80-game schedule or 76-game schedule in the American League. See how they do. Good luck.
All right. Next question. Ethan Russell, where's Northeastern going to be playing home games? Aren't they going to stop playing at Matthews Arena after this semester? Nice win by UMass last night. Nestor Sill is great. Pierre, if I'm not mistaken.
Walter Brown a lot.
Yeah.
At BU, where the BU women play. And they're also going to be over at where the Bruins practice.
Warrior. Yep. All right. Next question. Ethan Russell again. Pierre, have you ever had a player lose a lot of weight from an injury and then come back into the lineup and play the same? Do you think McAvoy will have trouble after losing 20 pounds?
I'm trying to remember if I don't.
The broken jaw.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't. Rick Tocchet, but our trainers were so good. Rick broke his jaw in the regular season in Chicago. Mario went to shoot the puck in and hit him right in the face, right by our bench. It was nasty. Rick played the whole game. He was crazy. And then he came back, but he didn't come back till the playoffs. I don't think he lost that much weight because I just think they had him doing all that stuff.
A lot of Ensure going down there. Chocolate Ensure. There you go.
I don't know what they were doing, but Rick was ready to play. He was such an important player for us. I just say some. Yeah, I know I'm biased. Okay, I'm going to admit my bias.
Yes,
Rick Tocchet is an amazing guy. Okay, he's tough as nails, and he made it to the NHL and played an unbelievable career. And he's a really good coach. Why would the media go after him? Because he had his fourth line. I don't even know if you should number your lines, but he had one of his depth lines on the ice in the last 5 minutes of a game yesterday against Colorado. I watched the game like you did, Jimmy. I know we talked about it. Why is that a big story?
I don't know.
Like, the Eagles are playing tonight.
Yeah.
Talk about them.
And are they down on the bench? Do they know how the top 6 guys were feeling at that point?
I know the media has a job to do. Trust me, it's how I've made my living for the last, since 1998, 97, 98. So it's how I've made my living. I get it. I totally get it. But I would never try to tell a coach, like, what are you doing putting that fourth line on the ice?
No, I had no problem with it. I watched that game and I thought it was a right
call because
the other guys looked completely gassed. So what good are they if they're gassed? I don't care how good you are. Still, if you're that gassed.
Hey, by the way, how good is that Nathan McKinnon?
Oh,
Did you watch the game
yeah.
Saturday against the Rangers?
Oh, I didn't watch. No, I watched yesterday's.
So
Saturdays.
if you don't think Nathan McKinnon's any good, watch the game against the Rangers.
There's enough of this crap.
It's crazy how good he is.
He's unreal, man. He's unreal. What do we got? Any more? Ethan Russell, Michael Bunting being a good fit for Detroit.
He would. He scores on the power play. I think in that type of an environment, he would be a fit. And he wants, he's a guy that wants to win. He does. He wants to win. I think he'd be a good fit there.
All right. Next question. Sakrita Gentman. Hi, guys. Pierre, what do you think of Habs pick Bryce Pickford? He has 20 goals as a defenseman in WHL, on pace for 47.
He's definitely trending the right way. There's no question. He's an offensive defenseman. I said this to Jimmy before I came on. I did not know we were going to get this question. I said to Jimmy, the Canadian scouts have done an unbelievable job. Montreal, you know what? Whether it's Marty Lapointe, whomever you want to give credit to it, but it's the entire staff. And Nicky Bobroff is right up there. Like the whole staff is really, really good. And they deserve a lot of credit. And the best part about it, their upper management, whether it's Kent or whether it's Jeff Gordon, they tell the scouts, this is your day. This is your show. Run it.
Yep.
And the guys do it. And they've done magnificent work. They've done really good work.
All right, next question. Franco, Montreal's allowing a lot of high-quality scoring chances. Excuse me. You saw it yesterday where they played well but lost due to high-quality scoring chances against. How do you fix this?
Tighten up in your own zone and stop playing straight man-to-man.
Yep.
It's just this, and they miss Gooley. They're not going to say they can't say it as a staff, but they need Gooley back.
Yeah, they do.
They need Gooley back, and then Carey has got to play better. He does. He was tremendous last year. He was really good, Jimmy. He's nowhere near the same player right now.
All right, next question. Big guy, F5Y. Why can't the D attack the offense at their blue line, challenging the entry into the offensive zone instead of backing into their goalie? Just saying, the Habs D play too deep in their own end.
Your opinion's spot on. We talked about this last year. It's the same thing happening. We said they got to start defending their own blue line harder, and you're exactly right, because it take away time and space. I just think they're so afraid of, because of the man-to-man and the speed that people are attacking. It's a hard way. It's easier said than done. It's way easier said than done.
But Gooley's a key there. All right, next question. Anthony, Montreal. Sorry for all the questions, but I still no problem.
Never be sorry, Anthony. Never.
But I finally got a day off of work. How long of a leash do you give MSL if these D-zone issues keep happening? I'm not talking about firing him this year, but down the road.
He's got a long leash. There's no jeopardy on that. He may decide that he wants to spend more time with his family. He's got a boy playing at Brown University who's near the end of his line there. He's got another boy that's a sophomore at Harvard University. They just played against each other on Saturday night. He didn't get a chance to go to the game. That's got to be heartbreaking. I missed most of my son's games, and now he's playing pro hockey, and I don't even get I went to 2 of his games in the American League when they played in Charlotte, but I haven't been to a game of my son. Now, part of it's because he's hurt right now, but I just, it's heartbreaking when you can't watch your kids. Maybe he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore. It's hard because once it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
Your playing career, when it's over, it's over.
I think he's here for a bit. I'll give him time.
Oh, I do too, but I'm just telling you, that's got to be hard.
Oh, yeah.
Really hard. Anyways, there were a lot of nights where I'd be sitting in my room going, damn, I wish I was somewhere else watching my kid play, but I got to be here because I've got a playoff game tomorrow, or I got something else going. I got the Olympics or whatever,
Yep. All right, next question. Renaissance Resistor. What's the ceiling for Hill to be? He was fantastic on Saturday.
He's really, I agree with that.
Big kid.
He is, and he's athletic as all get out. He's tremendously athletic. Let's see what he does tonight. It's a good test against Tampa, but the ceiling's probably pretty high because he's athletic and he's really big and he's very flexible.
Yep. All right, good stuff. That's it for our questions here on a Monday. Again, remember, we will have Sean Avery here tomorrow on the show, joining Pierre and me. I want to thank Shane up in Montreal working the boards. Thanks to all of you for your questions. Thanks to everyone watching and listening. Pierre, I know you'll be looking at Toronto. What other games you checking out?
Tonight's just going to be mostly Toronto. I'm just because there's a lot happening there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot happening. I got a long work day tomorrow. Plus Tampa's in Montreal tomorrow night, so I got to really zero in on them.
Yeah, good point. All right, good stuff. We thank everyone. We will talk to you here tomorrow on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.